Hello there everybody, my name is Juan, welcome back to a new reaction. Today we're going to take a little bit of a detour with this record, but before we get into that, I did want to say a couple of things. As you may have noticed, the uploads on the channel have become a little bit less frequent. That is because I did start working again. I am back in the workforce, unfortunately, but I'm not gonna stop making videos. It's just gonna be a lot less frequent when I do, but we will get to all your recommendations. Don't worry. That being said, today I do want to take, like I said, a little bit of a detour into this new record from of Montreal. I discovered this band like in 2013 and have listened to like a handful of their songs over and over again because of how particular and sort of interesting I think they are. So they released a new record titled Aethermead. Aethermead. And yeah, this band is really weird, to be completely honest, but I think that's why it could potentially make for an interesting reaction. I think before we get into the new record, let me just show you guys one of my favorite songs by this band. Honestly, to be fair, I don't even know if it's just one guy. Like, I don't know if it's just this guy or like a whole band. I'm imagining it's a whole band, right? But I don't really do research when it comes to who belongs to the band and this and that. I just kind of listen to the music. But my favorite song from of Montreal is Gronlandic Edit. So let's get into that. Let's see. So you guys get some ideas of what it is I'm talking about when I say this is kind of weird. Let's see. And then this is so specific, like so particular, man. I've listened to the song religiously. It's so good. Oh, let me.
I'm satisfied, hiding in our friend's apartment, only leaving once a day to buy some groceries. Daylight, I'm so absent-minded, nighttime meeting new anxieties. So am I erasing myself? Hope I'm not erasing myself.
I love this part right here.
I guess it would be nice to give my heart to a god, but which one do I choose? The church is filled with losers, psycho or confused. I just want to hold the deal in my and forget
all of the beauty
wasted. Let's do something pleasant. Say it. We fall back to earth like gravity's bitches. Physics makes us solid bitches.
Yeah, actually.
To help in your escape from patterns your parents design. All the party people dancing for the indie star, but here's the worst fake goodbye is the I forget.
I can't, but it's so good, man.
All of the beauty's wasted. I guess it would be nice. Show me that things can be nice. I guess it could be nice. Show me that things can be nice. You've got my back in the city. You've got my back 'cause I don't wanna panic. You've got my back in the city. You got
on my back, cause I don't wanna panic. Okay, so, oh, no, wait, this is part of the new record. So, as you can tell, I don't know, it's very peculiar and particular and specific, sort of weird. I like the way that they pitch up the voices. There is so much going on at the same time, but also there's like this beauty. I love how we kind of go on a little bit of a journey, you know? So, that being one of my favorite songs, and honestly, to keep it 100% real, I have not explored this entire discography. There is a lot to Off Montreal. Apparently going back to 1997. But what I'm most familiar with is that particular song from Hissing Fauna, Are You the Destroyer? But as you can tell also by the artwork, it's very like sort of like a fucking acid trip kind of music, and it's very strange. So that's why when I saw that they released a new record, I was like, okay, we're gonna start kind of taking little nibbles at this discography, and we're gonna go ahead and do so with the most recent record. And I'm kind of excited because I don't even really know what to expect. I feel like every time I listen to different of their songs, they all sound very distinct and very unique. So I am interested. We got 13 songs, 41 minutes. The first one is titled Already Dreaming. Bro, what is that? Okay, let's so fucking bad at this. I hear a very peculiar, like, sort of emotional sounding tone. Like, listen to this. And I was like, ooh, wait, where are we going with this? But then
Out into the jungle I go. I know you're at work, so I won't bother you. Out into the wilds I climb undefined. You're offline and I'm not supposed to bother you. But I'm already dreaming. Home-based entertainment meant to still our nuptial dread. I'm gonna miss you when I'm dead.
aw,
When I'm dead. Some people have a way keeping it hid. Some people have a way
oh,
out into the jungle I go. I know you're at work, so I won't bother you. Out into the wilds I climb undefined. You're offline and I'm not supposed to bother you. But I'm already dreaming. Home-based conversations. I love to reword things I said. I'm gonna miss you when I'm dead. When I'm dead.
I like that. Da-da, da-da-da.
Some people have a way keeping their pride. Some people have a way of not dying inside. Out into the jungle I go. I know you're at work, so I won't bother you. Out into the wilds I climb undefined. You're offline and I'm not supposed to bother you. But I'm already dreaming.
Interesting. Hmm. Okay. To be completely honest, that I feel like that's such a Well, from what I've heard of them and how weird I know that they can be, this feels kind of chill, kind of tame. There is some level of sentimentality here, particular lines like saying, I'm gonna miss you when I'm dead, which is interesting because I feel like when you're dead, there's just nothing, so like, it's not possible, but even then, you're like, I'm gonna miss you when I'm dead. Usually it's the contrary kind of saying, no, like, I'm gonna miss you when you pass away. I guess you don't say that to people, but like him saying, I'm gonna miss you when I'm dead, I'm like, okay. Um, I don't know, like I feel like there's so many sort of like different sounds, and oftentimes this can also come off very sort of overwhelming because you have this but there's also like little particular sounds that are interesting, which upon revisiting or upon re-listening, you can find like different little treats in there to pick out, which is interesting. But generally speaking, when it comes to them, this is very tame. But I'm interested. Hey, that wasn't bad whatsoever. I vibed to that. So let's see. Let's go next. What else is there?
Why did I even bother putting the mean puppet down? I started being nice too soon, now I'm a salty peach.
Okay.
And we are nowhere near the mirror moment yet. Teach me how to be like you, simply out of reach. Simply out of reach. While painkillers reach for the stars, we hang around in black and white. Not noticing our hearts, assassins approaching in on glittering light. Will our separate movies ever climax together? So I can hear the notes you're not playing to protect yourself.
Ooh, okay. Okay, that was nice.
Busy, are you beyond comprehension?
Ooh, wait. Did you guys hear that? Let's see if I can hear it again.
Are you busy? Are you beyond comprehension?
Ah.
Pretty cold, but that might not truly be your intention. What's your intention?
Ooh, okay.
I need your attention. While painkillers reach for the stars, we hang around in black and white. Not noticing our hearts, assassins approaching in on glittering light. You sang superstar, but do you really know what it is to pine? I'm feeling the humiliation of wanting on air. Wanting on air. Wanting that which doesn't care.
Interesting. Okay. That was nice. I feel like part of me kind of wants to pull up Genius just to see what he could potentially be like specifically talking about. I feel like a lot of the sentences are very like almost nonsensical but could be metaphorical, right? Like, why did I even bother putting the mean puppet down? I started being nice too soon, now I'm a salty peach. We are nowhere near the mirror moment yet. Teach me how to be like you, simply out of reach. Okay, and then that kind of ties in with wanting on air, wanting that which doesn't care and being simply out of reach. It's like I don't know if I'm kind of fucking like making it about my own experiences, but it's almost like caring for somebody who doesn't care for you in return potentially. But let me see. I'm interested now. Oh, there's. Do you ever listen to something so niche that there is no description of the lyrics? Yeah, but I mean, nonetheless, it's like I feel like there's like I'm so close to kind of understanding exactly what he's trying to say. Even if I don't know if particularly there is a meaning to anything that he's saying, you know. But I'm feeling the humiliation of wanting on air. When I first read the title, "Wanting on Air," it's almost like you can't breathe, but you're wanting to breathe. That's therefore you're wanting to air or wanting for air on air. Simple out of reach. While painkillers reach for the stars, we hang around in black and white. I kind of like the way that the music kind of shifts here to like a different sort of sound. I think it's kind of beautiful. Let me see.
While painkillers reach for the stars, we hang around in black and white.
There's so much going on.
Not noticing our hearts, assassins approaching.
But let's go next. I feel like while I can find certain entertainment in the two songs that we just listened, and there are like again a lot of things going on, and upon re-listening, I might learn to enjoy them a little bit more. They are not comparable yet to that first song that we listened to, my favorite from them. But let's go next. Let's see. Listen to music and cry. What? No, not today. Okay.
She was pouring sand on the flame as I would sex in her life.
Ooh.
She makes a way more believable than she did alright. If I have one regret, it's that I wasn't more of a friend. I could have done so much better, especially towards the end. Her body discovered in unity when we fall in love. Now the body shot lifting all alone and being apart. Still you're my idol because you rarely smile. I went for a drive to listen to your music and cry.
Interesting. Okay. I feel like I kind of understood this one a little bit better, or at least I'm trying to, you know. Don't waste a lash looking for a book to erase. I feel so arabesque too visible to embrace. An arabesque is an elaborate ornamental design featuring intertwined flowing lines, typically inspired by plants, leaves, or geometric patterns. Oh, okay. Uh, uh, huh? I feel so arabesque, too visible to embrace. So like you like stand out too much because of the pattern that makes you. Um, You're my idol because you rarely smile. I went for a drive to listen to your music and cry, which I, to a certain extent, that's kind of relatable. I feel like no, just the fucking Steve Lacy song that we listened to the other day, kind of vibe, you know. She was pouring sand on the flame as I was exiting her life. This particular line, I was like, "Ooh, what the fuck?" Like, to me, the way that I kind of imagined it in my head is like they have a relationship, and that relationship is a fire. But for whatever reason, the relationship came to an end as he's exiting her life. She's putting sand on the flame, like saying, "Fuck no, we're never getting back together." Kind of vibe, right? Like you're already leaving the relationship, but she's like being particularly like malicious by pouring sand on it, like making the like pouring salt on the wound kind of vibe. I feel like, you know. Um, she makes a way more believable widow than she did a wife. That's interesting. So she plays the part of a widow more than she did a wife. So like now that you're dead and she's a widow, she is more, I don't know. She acts it out better than she did a wife, or I don't really like. It's almost there. My two brain cells are almost coinciding with what that could possibly mean, but they're like, her. I have one regret, and it's that I wasn't more of a friend. And maybe is that talking about like the relationship that I imagine they're having? I could have done so much better, especially towards the end. Interesting. Yeah, and a lot of these lines kind of give this sort of like almost like regretful sort of vibe, which is okay. A body discovered in unity when we fall in love. To me, this kind of signified that maybe they had a child together, and this because of what it continues to say. Now the body's shoplifting all alone and being a punk. Still, you're my idol because you rarely smile. I went to a drive to listen to your music and cry. Okay, I feel like while the certain sentiment that this song carries with it kind of I can pick up on it somewhat, it's still not something extraordinary like kind of vibe, you know. But let's go ahead and listen to the next one. Let's see what else we have here. My Zhe Zhe. Ooh.
My shishi,
Shishi.
oh my shishi, you will never belong to anyone else. My shishi, you will never be my shishi, you will never belong to anyone else other than you. You're gonna sparkle as brightly as you are. It doesn't matter if you're hung up on the scion of a dead star. Who has no fucking clue how special you are? My shishi, oh my shishi, you will never belong to anyone else. My shishi, you will never be my shishi, you will never belong to anyone else other than you. You will glissando as madly as you do. It doesn't matter that this whole sick city is in love with you, and a little bit intimidated too. My shishi,
My Shishi.
oh my shishi, you will never belong to anyone else. My shishi, will you ever be my pulling strings if you have to.
Interesting. Again, another more sort of chill one, and I do kind of like these sort of influences. You got this sort of like, would it be called like a little like, I don't know, like Hawaiian almost kind of a vibe a little bit there. I like how it's kind of slow and my Zhe Zhe. Yeah, okay, not bad. Also, not anything like extraordinary yet again, but nonetheless, still sort of enjoyable to a certain extent. So, hey, how about we carry on? Let's see what else we got. Take the form. Okay.
So you turn me into a marble bust and smash me into a sea of dust. If I can do no harm, then I can do no good. If you were capable, I guess you would. I've no idea what this button does. I'm pushing it now, just because. And anyway, I have no fear of being too hopeful or insincere. If I can do no harm, then I can do no good. If you were capable, I guess you would. We are in tandem, we are in sync. Like when you're in the airplane, being poetic, out there in the pink. You just need to live up there in your mind. That's what I think. So bring our glasses together,
Clink.
clink. If I can do no harm, then I can do no good. If you were capable,
I guess you would.
do it for me and keep us warm. Become real, take the form. Do it for me, babe. Take the form. Do it for me and keep us warm. Become real, take the form. Do it for me, babe. Take the form.
Interesting. I think I like this one a bit better than a couple of the previous one. It just sounds a little bit more rock, a little bit more sort of like angular, a little bit more. Which I don't know. I kind of vibe with that. But let's see. I'm excited. I kind of want to see what else there is. So let's see. When run it.
I don't need to be your exalted one. Don't wanna be in your social circle. Don't need to be friends with your friends.
No mutuals.
I don't really care what kind of message this sends. I just wanna fuck you again. Yeah. I just wanna fuck you again. I don't need you to think of me as human. You don't touch my self-esteem. I Don't look to you for warmth and affection. I'm not trying to have an emotional connection. I just wanna fuck you again. I just wanna fuck you again. I just wanna fuck you again. Fuck you again. Don't wanna start a band with you or act in your movie. These feelings are like having rabies. I'm not competing with that nepo baby. I just wanna fuck you. I just wanna fuck you again. Just wanna fuck you again. Just wanna fuck you again. Just wanna fuck you
Okay, Kevin Barnes, you just want to fuck her again. All right. That's interesting. I think that sentiment, I can, it's somewhat admirable how honest he is about it. He's like, I don't want no strings attached. I want no feelings. I don't want to do yada 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 with you. I just want to fuck you again. Which, you know, being straightforward, being honest, I guess that is admirable. I could never do one thing without the other. I feel like for me, it's like such a like a passionate sort of experience where I can't really just fuck somebody and not get some kind of feelings, you know? Like the feelings are included, at least for me, the way I look at it. But hey, I guess pretty straightforward. I think while the concept, I'm like, okay, I understand it. The music is like nothing extraordinary yet again, you know. It's something very sort of chill, nothing, I don't know. It's like I'm not like blown away like yeah, but let's see. Carry on. Hack it up.
Shallow is your hatred? Without language, could it still exist? 8 years, were we ever in the same room together? With this one, I vowed to be radically different. I'm not expecting very much. Just you. I'm not expecting very much. Just you.
What?
Every obsession takes a dark turn, and you can take one too. Shot in the back of the head in a hearse, though it doesn't really feel that perverse, 'cause I'm not expecting very much. Just you. I'm not expecting very much. Just you. Oh, it's an edible world out there. You can't hack it up. She starts all the rumors about herself when she gets around to it. Gets around to speaking in first person, to be the duchess of other people's moods. Just a few steps away from intellectual lies a safe space for all your pettiness, and it's neat to be free, wild and ugly and perfect and free. Your mother never painted me, that's why I present as an effigy. Just
interesting that the final lyrics of this is I'm not expecting very much, because I personally kind of had expectations for this record to be kind of weird, kind of out there, and to be completely honest, it's been kind of chill. There have been a couple of songs that kind of, take it a little bit, like harder, if you will, but this in particular was very kind of slow. Um, Unfortunately, while those factors I do like whenever like music is sort of weird and like you really don't know what to expect. I think it also is almost like a double-edged sword because I feel like the sort of convoluted, sort of roundaboutish way in which he kind of talks and like it is sort of like I want to get into it, but also at the same time, it's so almost like random, like almost like you're just saying things to say things. So let me see. What is this? Hack it up. Let's see, genius. Let's see. Hack it up. 8 years we were we ever in the same room together? What could that mean? After being in a relationship for so long, you know your partner inside and out, but the subject is treating the singer like a complete stranger. They are foreign to each other post breakup. Okay, I guess I can understand that, right? But there's a lot of lines that are like very like sort of convoluted. Shot in the back of the head and it hears, though it doesn't really feel that perverse. Cause I'm not expecting very much, just you. Okay. And I'm like, okay, the lyrics start to make a little bit of sense, but like the musicality of it is just so sort of like plain, dare I say, kind of boring to be honest. But okay, how about let's carry on. Let's see what else we got here. Run it next.
Just so we understand the basic principle, music will be the most boring part.
Please, no.
I picked out my own teeth to be Dada, and then the water skiers left the band, and then the water skiers left the band. You resent me, that's one of your quirks. You wrote the sad girl's guide to breaking up and staying angry. It's your want to take things badly, barking in a dream. And you know how they say in dreams we're everyone and everything, but in waking life you are no one, which makes you dramatic and eating electronics.
Hey.
Forgetting to sign your work. Don't drop your D unless you're happy to see me. Don't drop your D. Don't drop your D unless you're happy to see me. Are you happy? Pissing pentagrams in the snow. I've yet to consider my shape a lot as I sleep on a spool of images. I'm not anonymous, they just don't know me. I'm not anonymous, they just don't know me. Cookie, tell me a story. It's okay if you're already dead or wasted on some fucking idiot. Who will keep Lacan in the family? Who will keep Lacan in the family? You know how they say in dreams we're everyone and everything, but in waking life I am no one, which makes me dramatic and eating electronics. Forgetting to sign my work. Don't drop your D unless you're happy to see me. Don't drop your D. Don't drop your D unless you're happy to see me. Are you happy?
Okay. It kind of feels like the whole record kind of has this vibe. Um, Just so we understand the basic principle, music will be the most boring part. I kicked out my own teeth to be Dada. Okay. And then the water skiers left the band. You resent me, that's one of your quirks. You wrote The Sad Girl's Guide to Breaking Up and Staying Angry. And it's your want to take things badly? Um, yeah, it's almost like this person, I imagine, Kevin Barnes, right? It almost feels like you had some sort of experience that kind of made you create this album. Maybe you kind of fell out with your significant other, and you felt some kind of way about it, which this is kind of mostly what I'm getting from like a lot of the songs. That's like the consistent theme. um Still not anything that I honestly deem like amazing. I'm like, okay, there are aspects of it that I enjoy, but other than that, I'm like, meh, kind of. But let's see, we've got a couple more songs, so let's carry on. Let's see what else there is here.
I'm writing too small. Apex predator in the swimming pool. Use the moon as a deflated sack. They approach the aliens in warplanes. They'll never be covered in their own blood. They'll never get it. Anger's key of choice, disobedience. The actors are inorganic material, and like most things we found, omniscience is deficient. Wish me well, wish me won't hurt too bad, because Bethlehem has always been for losers, and for losers, where do we even start having a moment? One stroke of your mourner's cloak, biblical duds writhing in a clearly fake page. My enemies built my face back from memory. That's why I'm so very hard to look at. An empty space vows to win back its old form. So to stop touching everything if someone writing you has hit you up with heel when you shy, being of no use to our surroundings. The pyramids fail. I recall these images with pleasure. The boy watching the urn turn to chamber pot. The marrow of you's value. Wish me won't hurt too bad, because Bethlehem has always been for losers, and for losers, where do we even start having a
Pop off, holy. At the very least, I feel like that part is worth running back a little bit.
where do we even start having a
Okay. Unfortunately, it's honestly it's not clicking. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. It's not bad. Maybe just a little convoluted, a little bit sort of like a lot of things kind of going on at the same time. And like the topics of like conversation, I'm like indifferent to be honest. I don't know, like there's nothing that like none, none of the lyrics I've been like, oh, maybe once or twice I was like, okay, I guess I can get behind that, but like for the most part I'm like, huh, huh, the pyramids failed. Like, I'm not exactly sure what you're trying to get at, and I feel like that's kind of the thing that is preventing me from enjoying this. Also, I mean, the music isn't like, again, nothing to write home about. It's me. I don't know, man. I'm like, I'm not clicking with it. But let's see what else we have.
My mouth is wide open whenever we're together. Even when I'm so upset, making revolting cathedrals and smearing my feces on the murals, deflating in the absence of your heat. You are an unpainted woman. You are gentle and moving. Being haunted helps you never feel alone. I hear my name in scare quotes. If I react, it's just to say ditto. Anything worth anything has to end in tears. From the font of you, I am a lush. You turn my body and brain to mush. From the font of you, I am lush. You turn my body and brain to mush. Would you be freaked out to find the ridiculous I erected for you inside my heart? Where did all this confidence come from? You want to keep me secret. You want our love to be reclusive. If I ask nothing of you, we could be so happy together. Like the criblet silk to a creature that doesn't usually make waves. You view me as a complete impossibility. When you reject me, the mirror breaks into songs of awful clairvoyance. The first time you kissed me, I thought, my God, you're me. From the font of you, I am a lush. You turn my body and brain to mush.
I don't know, man. That was so motherfucking slow. That took, honestly, I could not wait for the song to be over. I'm not gonna lie. Um, what I did kind of come to realize is that there's a very obvious, distinct sort of sound going on here, and that obviously has to do with how this album cover is black and white. It's very intentional. Also, the subject matter for the most of the record being sort of like him feeling some kind of way about a relationship that ended with somebody. I suppose that could make you feel sort of black and white, if you will. This song in particular, man, it was so sort of lackluster, kind of long. Um, Not to invalidate anything that he's feeling, like that's not my intention. It's just whenever I come on here and try to, listen to music and kind of vibe with it, I find it difficult to relate, find it difficult to get into it and vibe because it's so motherfucking slow. Like, I don't know, man. Let's go next though. Let's see. Or was that the last one? I don't know what song we're at. Hold on. Nothing's Reward. We have 3 more, including the one we're gonna listen to now. So run it. Let's see. We started it, might as well finish it. Let's see.
Catalysis, last among the not neutral. So the effect was in propulsive engine, a pattern of self-recognition, just barely you after all. After all, I doubt you. Are you someplace, being nowhere to nothing's reward? Establishing no discernible motive was a way to cope, just like violence or mythomania.
Okay.
Eidetic memories of your sinistrality, singing through an interpreter that is very pitchy. An author's apologia. A song has to end to hear applause. I can't face contempt without a microphone, and this to nothing's reward. Establishing no discernible motive was a way to cope, like catastrophizing every remotely negative feeling.
Right here. I'm like, okay. I can get into this, but everything else, I'm like,
Establishing no discernible motive was a way to cope, like infantilizing the sadism of your movie. Of your movie. Of your movie. Of your movie.
yeah, like I kind of like certain aspects of this one, like the dun na 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 na. But it's almost like he doesn't really want to put on too much of a show, if that makes any sense. I don't know, man. Like I like certain aspects of it, but not the song in its entirety. But let's carry on. Let's see. We're almost done. Now we cringe at the thought.
You were my second true love, second or third. I'd say you were a malcontent, but that's not really the word. Now we cringe. Now we cringe at the thought. Now we cringe. Now we cringe at the thought.
This one's interesting.
used to grow closer, we never really did. Now we cringe. Now we cringe at the thought. Now we cringe. Now we cringe at the thought. Now we cringe. Now we cringe at the thought. Now we cringe. Now we cringe at the thought. I opened the window and all the paintings fell off the wall. You made yourself so familiar till I couldn't relate at all. Now we cringe. Now we cringe at the thought. Now we cringe. Now we cringe at the thought. Now we cringe. Now we cringe at the thought. Now we cringe. Now we cringe at the thought. Now we cringe. Now we cringe at the thought. Now we cringe. Now we cringe at the
Interesting. Okay. This is probably the most relatable one because I feel like okay, let me go to the lyrics to see. You are my second true love, second or third. I'd say you were a malcontent, but that's not really the word. Now we cringe at the thought. We talked about marriage and maybe having a kid. We talked about ways to grow closer. We never really did. Now we cringe at the thought. To me, at least, the way, or I guess the only really way you could interpret this is that while they were in a relationship, they talked about the future, the things that could be, and this and whatnot. And now that this relationship is over and they think back on this relationship, now they're cringing because it's like, damn, we were really like that. You know, we kind of felt some kind of way, but now that it's over, you're like, oh, I really felt that way, you know? Hey, relax. Come here. Come. Hey, man. Man. Come on. We'll go outside later. Hey. Come on. What are you doing? What are you doing? Let me see this little girl. Oh my goodness. So, okay, I guess let me tell you guys what just happened. So you probably heard my little doggy being like. So I have a neighbor that lives next door, and they have a little dog, and they're outside right now, and the little dog just came and stood at the door, and she, I guess, smelt him or heard him or something, and she was like, like making noise because she wanted to go out and see him. Which is very cute, and I'm glad that you're happy. But where were we? Yeah, like I said, now we cringe at the thought. It is a sort of relatable kind of thing. Musically, I kind of like how it starts off sort of slow, and you're like, oh, wait, this is kind of going to get sentimental. And then out of nowhere, now we cringe at the thought, which I like both of those sounds separated, but I think whenever you have low, now we cringe at the thought, low, now we cringe, it's like, you get like the extremes of sort of like musical experience, if you will, like very low and then very sort of high energy and low energy and high energy. It's like, I don't know, man. I can relate to the sentiment to a certain extent. I feel like in the past, I have felt some level of like heartbreak, if you will, and in the moment, that sort of sentiment feels difficult to overcome. But now when I think back on it, I definitely cringe. Like, I really felt some kind of way about that motherfucker who this worth shit. Like, you know what I mean? But Let's carry on. Let's see what else there is here. I think this is gonna be the last one, right? Yep.
Like a saint riddled with ecstasy. Trying to focus on something other than the assumption. We drank a beer in the daytime and watched the eclipse. I don't miss a lot, I do miss this access to you. I miss us at our best. To hell with the rest. You were always teetering over a sea of anguish. Yet somehow appearing so happy to others. I absorbed all your misery, it was for my mind only. You asked me for help and then called it toxic positivity. Eventually, I guess I only liked us at our best. I said to hell with the rest. Strangely, you're at peace at the edge of the world, playing video games. Numbing your diamond, orchestrating its brutal decay.
Wow, 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 wow.
Surely you knew me well enough to know that I'd want to be a star in New York, not a hick in Vermont. As you build your new nest, I'll remember us at our best. To hell with the rest. Surely you knew me well enough to know that I'd want to be a star in New York, not a hick in Vermont. As you build your new nest, I'll remember us at our best. To hell with the rest.
Another kind of chill and quiet, sort of feeling some kind of way. Still, man, this is kind of hard. I don't miss a lot. I do miss this access to you. I miss us at our best. Okay, okay. Clearly, Mr. Kevin Barnes has had an experience that led him to create this record that, quite frankly, is very distinct from other music from of Montreal that I've personally heard before. Usually you have this sort of like chaotic, sort of strange energy, which can be very entertaining. But for this one, he kind of stripped away all the colors, even on the art itself. It's very black and white. And that kind of translates to the music as well. Like I said, there's a lot of tracks on here that are very slow, honestly boring, but ultimately he is being very vulnerable in sort of talking about how this experience has made him feel. And ultimately, I do believe in the fact that art is expression, and him sort of expressing these feelings through the art of his music is commendable, and I can respect that. With all that being said, I'm gonna have to give this a 5, to be honest. I can relate to maybe like a handful of songs to certain sentiments that he's trying to portray here. Um, Ultimately, though, it was very slow, kind of boring. I believe I set myself up because I came in here with expectations of getting to listen to sort of Montreal's um general sort of sound being very sort of like chaotic and energetic and kind of giving me a lot. Here we get certain parts that fulfill that expectations, but for the most part, it is kind of slow and kind of a little boring. Um, Again, which goes hand in hand with the sort of subject that he's trying to talk about, which again I can respect, and my shout outs to him for being able to sort of process these emotions in a healthy way, right? That's commendable, I suppose. But from like a listener experience, it does kind of leave more to be desired. Unfortunately, I feel like it wasn't as entertaining as other records that we could have listened to. But hey, we did it. It's over. I feel like a 5 is fair simply because there's no standout like particular song from here that I'm taking. There are a lot of songs that kind of again wished left more to be desired, but alas, it is what it is. We will get into other music later on, and not every record's gonna be incredible, blah the wazoo. So I think 5 is fair, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and leave that there for now. I think yeah, I've gone on enough. So yeah, hey, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.